See, literally the person that says it's going to be recorded is the same like robotic voice as the one they use in Zoom.
Yes. Also, you're lagging for me. Hopefully that doesn't
Oh,
continue.
okay. All right. So
Anyways,
today, day 3 circles. And we're going to start off with the homework review, as usual. And Kayam, could you put the link in the chat?
yes. Oh,
Okay.
wait. Um, 1 second. I wasn't on that. Is it this? No, it's this.
It's HWR view. Anonymous
Uh,
frog.
my computer's being very laggy, so it's
Yeah, I could
loading.
tell. It kind of like stretched out your words, so it sounded kind of weird for a moment.
Uh-oh. It's probably because I'm not at home.
Oh,
Yeah. Okay, well, that's the link, and I think you should be able to access it.
okay. So we're going over the 3 most missed questions, and this is number 10. Solve for x. So x is this angle here, right? And this angle like intercepts this arc over here, and that means since the vertex and the endpoints of the angle are all on the circle, that means this angle is an inscribed angle. And last week we talked about how inscribed angles are always half the degree measure of their arc. So x is half of 102 degrees. So that means x is 51 degrees. Okay.
Okay, here. Okay, yes. So this one is, what is the measure of angle A? And well, this one's kind of simple. You don't really have to look at all of the numbers they give you because like a rectangle, well, no, not a rectangle, a quadrilateral that's drawn inside a circle, the opposite angles, like those pairs, will be supplementary. So A plus C will be 180, and then B plus D will be 180. So then to find A, we just do 180 minus 101, which is what C is, to get 79.
Okay. And question 8, if the area of this circle is 25 pi, find the area of triangle ABC. And I don't know if the reason that it was missed was because the picture was blurry, but I hope the picture wasn't actually blurry in the real thing. So the area of the circle is 25 pi, which means that the radius is 5, which means that the diameter of the circle is 10. And this little number here is 6. So this, and because this triangle has a hypotenuse that is the diameter, that means this angle here is a 90-degree angle, which means that the whole triangle is a right triangle. So we can use Pythagorean theorem, or we could use our knowledge of Pythagorean triples to find that this side, the longer leg over here, has length 8. So now to find the area of the triangle, we just do 6 times 8, multiply the side lengths, and then divide by 2, and that gives us the answer 24. Okay, are there any questions? Okay. All right. So this is our agenda for today. Pretty much we're just doing 2 things, but one of these things is kind of a little bit more complex. So we're going over perpendicular bisectors and circles, this is a very long word, but it's not really. It just means perpendicular lines that split a line in half. And then we're talking about the power of a point theorem. So we're going to be similar to last class. We're going to be doing this on Desmos. So go to student.desmos.com, and then this is the class code. And I guess I'll meet you there. Oh, Kion, could you put the code in the chat?
Oh, yeah. Nev.
Oh, I didn't tell you about what happened last time, Kayang. But
What?
basically, we were all very unaccustomed to WebEx, and apparently
Mm-hmm.
everyone could share screen. And so
Oh
last
no.
time, some
You
people,
got rickrolled?
yes.
Of course. Who did
Well,
it? Who was it?
I don't remember. It was either I think it was Ian or it was probably I don't even know.
Of course it was him.
Yeah, do
Yeah.
you understand why now?
Yes, I do.
Uh-oh.
Wait, can everybody still share screens or no?
Well, if they do, they lose like a bunch of points.
Oh,
So
okay.
like, yeah.
Okay, and that's not very nice. Anyways, so we are going to do this Desmos once everyone joins.
I just think this picture is very cute.
Cats are so cute. Kittens are cute.
Kittens mainly. Cats?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. My neighbor's cats fight over my house's territory. Like,
Wait, what?
because like my both of my neighbors have three cats each, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And like my left side neighbor has like one cat is currently dominating. It's a yellow cat, tabby cat named Simba. And then my right-hand neighbor also has three cats, of which two of the cats are dominating. One of them is a gray cat named Rebel, and the other one is a black cat whose name I don't know yet. But they get into fights all the time.
Wow.
And it's just a lot of
Wow.
drama. So,
I don't
okay.
know. I think all baby animals are cute.
Okay. Do you want to get started now?
Yes. Oh, am I supposed to start?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Wait, am I supposed to go on like the um preview to see
Um,
questions, or should I join as a student?
if you want to.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
if you join as a student, then you can access everything we're doing. So that sounds good.
Okay. I guess I'll join as a student then.
Okay.
But and you can start. I have to like sign in.
All right. So slide number 2. Basically, it's another one of those investigation thingies that we did last time. Basically, what do you notice as you drag these orange points around the circle? Wait, can you see my notifications
What do you mean?
No.
on my computers? Okay, that's good. Here, I'm gonna like turn them off one moment.
Obliviously. Obliviously.
Obliviously. Look, the notifications weren't even inappropriate. It's just that it's a little embarrassing.
Wait, what? What is it? Now I'm
No, it
curious.
was just, hey, stop like staring at your computer screen, take a break and go outside. It was something along those lines.
Wait, what?
Because like I spend a long time on the computer, right?
Yeah.
And so
Oh,
I
so
just need
you.
to take a break sometimes, right? So that's all. But it's like weird, you know?
I don't have orange dots. Yes, you do.
Do other people
Right.
have orange dots?
I have orange dots, which means you have orange dots.
Except B, which is on the circumference. B? B should have orange dots. Maybe you pull them together.
That'd be funny.
I like this visual. Okay, so you don't have any. You probably deleted them because you can like go down here and delete them.
Oh,
Anyway, um, so what do you? So you guys. Well, let's see what people said. Teacher. Okay, nice. Now you guys can look at your answers. Okay, so it says people are noting that it's always perpendicular. The lengths are the same. There's always a right angle. Yeah, all of these are correct. So basically, I mean, those are good noticing. So the formal way to say this is that chord BC, so remember this is a chord because it like crosses the circle. Chord BC has been bisected. In other words, split into two equal parts by diameter DE. So this one. So in other words, this line over here split this line into two parts. That's just it, what it means. And also, the angle measured between these two line segments is 90 degrees. So this is what a perpendicular bisector is. It's splitting this into two parts and it's perpendicular. So whenever you have a diameter, there's always going to be, whenever you like whenever you have a chord like chord BC and you draw a perpendicular line that bisects it, then that line's always going to be like a diameter, so like DE. However, it has to be perpendicular and it has to split it in half in order to be a diameter. Otherwise, it's just a random line in the circle. So, are there any questions about perpendicular bisectors? Okay.
Okay, so the next thing is write an expression describing the relationship between the line segments labeled A, B, C, and D. And this one might be a little tricky, so if not a lot of people can figure it out, we'll try to walk through this like together. But try to think about similar triangles and inscribed angles if you remember that from last class.
And here's another thing. I know it looks like that those line segments like A, B, and C, D are intersecting at the center of the circle, but that's not actually the center of the circle. So line segments A, B, C, and D are not actually radii. Like they can be, but they don't have to be. Okay, I'm gonna give you guys a hint. So look at this arc here. So what are the inscribed angles for this arc?
Wait, I don't think you're like sharing your screen
Oh,
or pointing to
oops.
something.
Whoops. Sorry. There. Now you can see. So this arc right here, the inscribed angles for this arc would be this angle here and this angle here. So this angle and this angle are equal because they both intersect this arc, right? And this arc over here has this angle and this angle congruent because they intersect the same arc. And this angle over here, oops, and this angle over here are also congruent. Why are these two middle angles congruent?
Is it, I forgot the name, but it's because those it's exterior.
Ooh, people are
You're,
saying it in the chat.
Oh yeah, but,
yeah, these are vertical angles. They're like across from each other, kind of. And so these two middle ones would be equal. These two like angles to the left would be equal. These two angles over to the right are equal. So what type of triangles are these? Like, it's kind of hard to see the triangles now, but like this triangle and this triangle, what type of triangle are those? Are they congruent? Do we know that the side lengths are equal?
If they have the same angles, one could be really small, one could be gigantic. So what's the word for two triangles that,
Similar?
yes, somebody said it. Yeah, they're similar triangles.
Yeah.
So now
Now,
using the fact that they're similar triangles, A and B, like A and D are sides of one triangle, and then C and B are the sides of the other, right? So, for now, you could try to write like a proportion, like a ratio is equal to another ratio, or you could write an equation.
yeah. Write the
Why are they
relationship
similar?
between these sides.
So, the difference between similar and congruent is that, like, congruent means they're like the exact same. So the side lengths would be the same, the angles would be the same. If I put them on top of each other, they would be the exact same. But similar triangles, so they're similar, but they're not exactly the same. So they have the same angles. Like, for example, you could have a really small 90-degree, 90, 45, 45 isosceles, and then a gigantic one. And these, like, if I expanded the small one, I guess I zoomed into it or something, then it would look like the other one, right? So that's what I mean by similar. So they have the same angles and they're like very similar, but they're not the same. They're not necessarily the same side lengths wise.
Okay, have you guys written a, well, let's see. Let's just look at the answers now. Someone said AD equals CB. Some people said A is the same as C, B is the same as D, AB equals CD. So one property of similar triangles is that their side lengths are in proportion to each other. So like if you multiply one side by another, that gives another side of the other triangle. So wait a second. Wait a second, Kai, I'm confused.
Yes? Yeah, no, they're close. So
Okay, yeah.
basically, like I have, let's say I'm just gonna make the top right one, like the ones with sides A and D, one triangle, and then the ones with side C and B another. So they're similar triangles, but I don't know that the side lengths are the exact same, right? But I know that since they're similar triangles, the ratios between the sides would be the same. So right now, it would be like A and B. A would be corresponding to B in the other triangle, right? So then that equals,
That would be A to C. A over C because we set up a proportion to those sides, right? Because these
oh
two
yeah,
sides are correspond to each other because they're sharing like this angle across. So we can solve A over C equals and then D over B. This is what we would do if we were to solve for one particular side of the triangle. Does everyone know how we got that, or does someone want us to go over how we got this again? Okay, so if we once again, we're setting the sides in proportion to each other. So the side A goes over divided by side C equals the length of side D divided by side B. But if we multiply both sides by, if we cross multiply, so these multiply and these multiply, then we get AB equals CD. Oops, what happened here? CD. Does everyone know how we got this?
So, let's just like to reinforce it, I guess. Let me explain the proportion again. Or Amy, do you want to?
Sure.
So I
So
guess the side like colors could be confusing, but like those are just aligned. So the ones that are corresponding to each other, you can know that. Oh, what is that? Anyways, you can just like look at that using the inscribed angle.
So sides A and C correspond to each other because they're both across from the same angle. And then sides D and B correspond to each other because they're both across this angle. And for similar triangles, if you multiply one side by a constant, you get the length of the other side. And that's the same for all the corresponding sides. So if we set a proportion, it will be equal to each other.
Is AD a right angle? AD is where?
This angle, that's not a right angle. Not necessarily.
It's not. Well, it could be, but it doesn't have to be. And if you're still like a tiny bit confused, I think it'll make more sense once we like keep going.
And again, if we cross multiply this proportion, we get AB equals CD. Does anyone want another explanation again? Okay, Kyung, do you think I could move on?
Yeah.
Okay, so this proportion here is very important because this is the beginning of the theorem that is known as power of a point. Go to slide 6 because I don't think slide 5 is super important. Actually, we can go to slide 5. So try this theorem out for yourself. So multiply the, oh, well, the answers are kind of on a screen, but multiply this line segment here by this line segment here, and check if that roughly equals this line segment here multiplied by this line segment here. Like, does it work? Yeah.
Yeah, you should.
What's the point of asking your sister to know? I mean, we're obviously gonna say yes because you just.
Yeah, but I want you guys to try it for yourself. That way you can actually trust it. Because you need to be able to trust it.
Are you gonna take our word for it? Do you trust us that much?
Yeah, I mean, why would you lie?
I don't know. Why would I lie? I could lie. Just so that we can get to like the Kahoot, since we all love Kahoots. Obviously, yeah, it should work because why else would we teach it? But yeah, just to see with numbers, it does work. And you can go on to 6. So this property is called power of a point. It's kind of a weird name, but yes. So it's what we just looked at. A times B equals C times D, and the angles between them doesn't really matter. It's just if there's two different chords intersecting, then it will be like that.
Yep. And it's really useful because then if you have like a missing line segment, like, oh gosh, I know you. Okay, don't do that. Okay, just it's really useful because then when you have like a missing line segment, you can use it to find the value of that line segment. So spend like we'll give you just like 1 or 2 minutes and just solve for the values of x, y, and z. Just to like put it into practice, because this is like really useful in like complicated problems where you like have a bunch of lines all over the circle and they tell you find this one line. And it's like, what are you supposed to do? You can use power of a point to do that. So yeah.
Also, I don't know if this is just me, but I can go to all of the slides, even though you technically restricted me.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know if that's just me, but I just signed in
Oh,
as a student. Okay, that's
that's
kind of weird.
weird.
Maybe it's because did you share it with me?
May. I don't know.
That's so weird. Also, don't move the stuff inside the circle around because I
Oh,
did that and it's like weird.
yeah, it's weird. At least it doesn't change the values though.
Yeah, but then one of them, the third one, I just completely messed up my circle, so I can't even like see an intersection anymore.
Well, now that you've told them not to move it, everyone's moving it around. I can see it on my screen. All of the little things are just shifting.
Okay, you guys can do it after you solve it.
Yes, after you solve it, you can mess around.
People here love making up random words and random religions, apparently. You can't mess with the third one? Oh.
Yeah, because it has a dot in the middle that's locked. But for the other ones, I hid the dot without locking it. So you're dragging an invisible dot.
Yeah, I can move the third one. That's the only one that looks completely messed up.
Oh, yeah.
I think I'm just special. Desmos knows it. I'm too awesome.
It happened to me too, it just doesn't work.
Okay. Let's go over the question. So, okay, find the value of x. Well, so to find the value of x, we just need to use power of a point. So 3 times 6 should equal 9 times x. So in other words, 3 times 6 is 18, so 18 equals 9x. So x is 2. Easy peasy. Okay. The second circle, 4 times 3 equals 2 times y. So 4 times 3 is 12, so 12 equals 2y. So y equals 6. Whee. And then for the third circle, 4 times 2 equals 3 times z. So 4 times 2 is 8, and that equals 3z. So z equals 8 thirds. Okay. Did anyone have any trouble with that? Okay. Let's move on. All right. I guess you could say fortunately or unfortunately, but it turns out there's actually two more parts to power of a point. Like this one we just went over was like part 1 of 3. So, Kyan, you can explain this one.
Okay. Well, yes. Our best friend when it comes to math, art of problem solving, can explain this in much more detail if you're interested. But the first one that's at the top, so there's like 2 points on the circumference of the circle and then 1 point like outside of it. And the difference between this one and the second one when you scroll down is that one of the points and the point outside, it doesn't go through another, well, it's not an edge, but another like side of the circle, I guess. So you'll see what I mean if you scroll down. But basically, in the first one, a squared, the one that doesn't pass through 2 points of the circle, is equal to b times b plus c. And then the other one is kind of similar. So a times a plus b is equal to c times c plus b. D, not b.
So in other words, for both of them, you have like the little shorter outer edge being multiplied by the length of the entire segment. For this one, the little shorter outer edge is the entire segment, so it kind of multiplies by itself. That's why it's like a squared. And yeah. So these are the three power of a point theorems, and they're very important. We can, if you guys don't memorize it, that's for like right now, then that's okay. We can just continue to remind you as we go along today, but in the future it'd be a good idea to like memorize them.
And once you do this at school, it's gonna be hard to forget though.
Yeah, you will. Wait, we learn it in geometry, right?
Yes, except we didn't learn it because
Oh,
COVID.
that's true. So yeah, this is just it again, but in like I guess a nicer format. So let's do some more practice. Solve for x and y again, and you can definitely use a calculator.
How long is the Kahoot this time?
I think it's 17 questions, but as usual, if we run out of time, we can definitely skip questions.
Yes. How much more? Wait, after this is just problems, right? Yes.
Yes,
But we should definitely get through at least like at the very least 3.
yes, and plus number 18. My gosh, number 18, it tripped me up really hard when I first tried to redo it.
Just ask.
Number 18 is like once you see it, it's not bad, and then it's hard to see.
Yeah,
Does it matter which one's A, B, C, D, or can it just be anything?
just as long like it's not really about the letters, it's about which type of line segment. So if the line segment is like passing through the circle, or if it's just touching the circle, you need to make sure that's in like the right part of the equation.
Yes.
So you may just want to stick with A, B, C, D then.
No, I'm saying like if the specific line segment mattered.
The specific lines, like if are you saying like if we for this one the specific lines don't really matter too much, but for these like it has to be um this short line here multiplied by the whole line.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Do you guys want more time or do you want us to go over it?
I want a bit more time.
Okay. We'll give you guys
I
another
rounded.
minute.
I have a question.
Yeah?
So, like, I rounded to the nearest hundredth. Would that be fine?
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, you can round to the nearest tenth. It doesn't really matter.
Okay. I'm gonna go over it now. Okay. So let's solve the second one first because this one's a little bit easier. So for this one, we would use the power of a point theorem. That's like this third one over here, where you have a squared equals b times b plus c. So a, in this case, a would be y. So y equals, and then this is the b, 2.74 times, and then this whole thing, I'm going to type that into a calculator. That's 7.68. Oh, y squared, sorry. Y squared equals 2.74 times 7.68. So the square root of 7.68 times 2.74, oops, 7.68 times 2.74. If you take the square root of that, then you get y equals around 4.59. So if you have anywhere around like 4.59 or I don't know, 4.57, that's good. So y equals 4.59. Any questions about that question? Okay, the first one is harder. And the reason it's harder is because, well, you'll see in a moment. So for this one, we use the second part of power of a point, which is the longer equation. So a times a plus b equals c times c plus d. So 2.54, which is this part here, multiplied, that's a multiplication dot, multiplied by the length of the whole thing, which is 6.59, and that equals 2.63 times the length of the whole thing, which is 2.63 plus x. 2.63 plus x. So the reason why this one is harder is because the x is in the parentheses. So I think some of you guys might have made a mistake at first because you got like, maybe you put x as a or something. But x is in the parentheses, so it needs to be added to 2.36 before you solve for it. So if we divide both sides by 2.36, so divided by 2.63, sorry, 2.63. And then let's just evaluate this side first because that makes things easier in the long run. So that, if you type this into your calculator, that would give us 6.36 equals 2.63 plus x. So now you subtract 2.63 from both sides, and that gives you x equals around 3.73. So you see, this first one had a lot more steps algebraically than this second one over here. Oh. You calculated more on the second one? I mean, I guess if you could, I guess. Does anyone have any questions about this so far? All right, then we will move on to some application problems.
Let's just do 3 because since you said there's 17 questions, this time let's try to do every single question without skipping because I don't think we've done that.
Okay.
So, should we do 12?
Yeah, I think that's a good one.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, what's the radius of this circle? And let me just clarify something. These two lines are not parallel. I mean, I don't even actually, they could be parallel, but I don't know
Can't
if they're
assume.
parallel. They're not supposed to be parallel, so
Which two lines?
The 4 and 8. So for this, you would have to know some. I think you guys should have gone over this last time.
yep,
One
they
of
did.
these things
They
that
should.
I can't say because that would give it away, but I think Amy knows what I'm talking about.
Yep.
Is it drawn to scale?
No.
You can't assume. Lots of times in like math counts tests, it won't be drawn to scale. If you're really, really, really lucky, you can sometimes guess by looking at it, but I really strongly discourage you from doing that unless you've done like every single question other than that one and you have no idea and you just go to it as your last resort. I think I've gotten it right like that like just once. So,
Okay, how many people have answered so far? 2 people.
I think you're giving away the answer.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Okay. Well, normally
Next
they
time,
normally they would put the answer in the chat,
you're right.
but
We
then
could have done this. I could have shared my screen as a student and you like paste me and then you can look at the answers.
that is a good idea. Okay, we can do that next question.
Yes. I would have said next class, but I'm not gonna be here anymore.
Aw. If I get like way more correct answers for this question than previous questions, then that means people are copying off each other.
Exactly. Correct.
I have absolutely no idea.
You can tell us how good then. Does not make any sense. Okay, but anyways, class 2 and class 1. Well, we'll see. What if they're actually better than you? They wish. Then those little kids, you guys are like what? At
Year
most
older.
like 3 years older than them. 10 times smarter. We'll see. You're 16. No, you're not.
If you're 16, then you shouldn't be in this class.
Exactly. 11. That's reasonable.
Okay. Do you want me to go over the question now?
Yeah, you can,
Okay.
if you're asking.
Yeah, lots of people have the answer 5. one person has to answer 10. So what is the radius of the circle? So radius is like this part here or this part here, right? So then if you're just solving the question, you need to find this part or this part. So in fact, if you find this whole diameter, then you've got the radius. You just divide by 2. So how do you find the diameter? Well, there happens to be this triangle here. And if you remember from last class, if a triangle has its hypotenuse, the diameter, then this is a right angle. And if it's a right angle, then you can use the Pythagorean theorem to solve for the hypotenuse. So you see how this domino effect, right? So to solve for the hypotenuse of this triangle, we just need this side length. How do I find this side length? Oh, hey, there's a random line segment here, right? So we can use power of a point. So let's call this side length x. So since this is just tangent, this means that 4 squared equals 2 times 2 plus x. And then, wait one moment. There's some people talking. Can you guys hear? No?
Wait,
Okay.
huh?
Yeah.
There's some people talking in the background.
No, we can't hear
Okay.
that.
All
I
right,
can
that's
only hear you.
Okay, so 4 squared is equal to 16. Oops, that's not the eraser. 16. So 8 equals, so like if you divide both sides by 2, then this cancels out to be 1. So 8 equals 2 plus x. So x equals 6. So in other words, this side length here is 6. And that means this is a right triangle. We know 2 side lengths, so we can solve for this length here. This is, we can just use our Pythagorean triple. So this is a 6, 8, 10 right triangle. And since 10 is the diameter, that means the radius equals 5.
Wait, how'd you get to 16?
16?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, because you have to square this. This side length squared equals the 2 times the whole side length.
It's the power of a point.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, let's go to the next one. Should I share my screen?
Yeah. And
Okay.
I will stop sharing my screen.
Either way, I'm not restricted, so like somehow I'm not restricted, so it's okay.
This
Can you
next,
see?
yes. Yay.
Are we doing this?
Yes, that one.
Okay. Okay, so this one
Is
might
that-
be kind of like weird looking at first. It might be hard to find at first, but this tip is very, very helpful if you can't see. So AB is right here. Whoa, why is it like this? BC is over here. So if you solve for them separately and you add, then you can get AC. Also, why is this literally like exactly the same as Zoom? That's kind of interesting. Anyways, yeah, hint. It's pretty simple once you see it.
In fact, just it as like a tip or hint 1.5, just focus on like either AB or BC and just like ignore the other one completely. And then once you find one, then focus on the other one and just ignore the other one completely.
I get it.
Nice. Nobody has guessed my age. Can't say that, Charles. Thanks. I'm non-existent. Just because I'm in 10th grade doesn't mean I'm 15. What if I skipped the grade? What if I got held back? What if my birthday is really early?
What if you skipped 5 grades?
Yeah, like what if I did that?
Okay, do you want me to go over it now? Because I think some people may be stuck.
I get.
Okay.
I'm stuck on. I got BC. I can understand what that is, but I can't understand the other one.
Oh
Desmos.
gosh, that is not the right tab.
That scared me.
That's not the right tab.
Your science Olympiad open hole.
Yeah, luckily it didn't
Fun
load it.
fact, Amy's really good at Science Olympiad.
Okay. So let's just focus on 80. Okay, like BC doesn't exist right now. And in fact, like none of this stuff we don't need that stuff like right now. So to solve for AB, because we're gonna solve for AB and then solve for BC and add them up separately. So first we're gonna solve for AB. So we use powerful point for AB. So since AB is just one line segment that's touching the circle, and since AE so like intersects the circle, we would do AB squared equals this line segment 2 times 2 plus 6, so that's 8, right? So AB squared equals 16. So what would AB be? Just
4.
put it in the chat or say it out loud. Yeah, it would be
Everybody should
4.
be able to answer this.
4. The AB would be 4. Okay. Let's write that down so we don't forget. And now let's focus on the other side. Oops, I'm trying to erase my screen. There. Let's focus on the other side. So now we're going to focus on BC. And we're just going to ignore the rest of the circle because it doesn't matter. And so BC squared equals this length 3 times 3 plus 9 times 12. So what does BC equal?
6.
Yeah, BC
Yay.
equals 6. So now that we know this, what would be the length of AC now?
10.
Yeah, that's the answer. Are there any questions? Formula?
And
Okay, this
just
is
like
the third one. This is, here, let me go back a couple of slides. This is, whoa. This is this one over here because this falls into the category where one of them is like touching the circle and one of them is like crossing into the circle. So this would be this formula here. Okay. Any other questions?
Just saying we have like 20 minutes for the Kahoot.
you're right.
Wait, should we do this next one or should we go to a harder one?
We'll go to a harder one since we've done 2 and we
Okay,
Should
which one
only-
should?
I'm gonna choose. I don't know if I really like 18 because we should either do
All of them are.
15 or 18, I guess.
Okay. Honestly, I like all of these.
You like all of them?
Yeah, but we can do number 18.
Okay, fine.
All right, go to number 18. I'll just put the rest of the questions as bonuses or something because I don't want the questions to go to waste, you know? All right. I'll stop sharing so you can share.
Okay.
Okay. I'm just gonna read the question. So circles M and N are congruent and they're tangent to each other, which simply means that they touch each other at point O. Points A, M, C, D, and E are collinear. Does anyone know what collinear means? Yes, all right, and that's correct. It just means they're lying on a line. They're on a line. That's all. So points A, M, C, D, and E are on a line. And line segment AE has length 13. If circle M has a radius of 4, then find the length of CD. So if you're overwhelmed by this question, just say it in the chat.
Whoa.
Because before this class, I was trying to review this question and I couldn't solve it like before class on X because it's a hard question. But
Wait,
once
just
you
asking. Is is point C on the is it on the diameter of the circle? I mean, circumference of the circle?
yes.
Yes, it's on the circumference of circle M. D is on the circumference of circle N.
I really think everyone should do tip number 2. So okay, in the chat, put all the names of the line segments that are congruent to each other.
So like which ones are 4, like have a length of 4, is that what you mean?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yep. Advika has one. Line segment AM equals line segment MC because they're both radii of circle M. ND equals NE. Yep, that's another one.
What? No, go away. I don't really like WebEx, it's being annoying.
AM equals OM equals MC equals ON. Good job, Ian. That's very important. Like on your screen, you should just write a little number 4 next to all of those line segments because all of the ones that you just said have length 4 because they're radii of the circles which are congruent.
Is line OC, is that a right angle?
No.
No, you can't assume that.
Okay.
For a hint, at least this is how I solved it. Like, if you try not to look at one of the circles and pretend it wasn't there, it might help you a lot to see which power of a point you're supposed to use. because it might be hard to figure it out at first.
Oh, I got it. I have all the information. I just need to solve it now.
Oh, great.
Advika, your answer is it's not correct. Yeah, I'm just gonna say it's not correct.
It's it's pretty close though,
Yeah.
new number wise, but method wise, I don't know about that.
I can give another hint. What is the length of line segment CE?
This should be from info in the question.
Yes. I have one answer in the chat from Prithu. CE has length 5. And we know that because the question tells us that line segment AE has length 13, right? And line segment AC already has length 8, so CE must be 5. And IN told us that if, let's just call CD X, right? Line segment CD is going to be called X. Then line segment DE would be 5 minus that. So, yeah.
Is my answer correct or at least close?
I'm not sure. Here, let me check something. No, I don't think it's correct.
After you figure it out, you could pretty easily make an algebraic error. So make sure you are doing it right after you figure out how to do it, like math-wise.
Do you guys want another hint? No?
No,
Does anyone want another hint? I see some of you guys are frustrated.
this one is kind of hard, honestly.
Okay. Do this. In fact, I'll just share or can I share my screen, Kayam?
Yeah.
Okay, let me make sure I'm not showing the answers. So, okay, I'm going to like only focus on the parts I highlight. So focus on this line segment and this line segment. Notice that it intersects a circle here and here. Ignore everything else. Like the rest of the stuff just does not matter right now. So like none of this. The circle does matter a little bit, like this circle over here. It matters a little bit. But mainly, again, just focus on this and where it intersects the circle. And CD, as a reminder, CD is like X. And this is 4, this is 4, this is 4, this is 4. DE is like 5 minus X. Because the length because this whole length over here is 5. And so DE would be 5 minus CD.
It should be pretty clear now, hopefully.
Do you guys
It's
know which property to use?
Which one does
Is
it
it
look
third
like?
one?
Somebody tell me. What?
But no one.
It's one of these three. What does this one look like? It's definitely not the first one, right? Is it the second one? The third one? Do both of the lines go through the circle, or does one of them just touch it? That will help you figure out which one to use.
The scenario we have, it matches up with the second one. So if we, for a moment, let me erase some stuff. Oh, it's not erasing. Okay. Oh, it's not erasing anything on my screen. Oh, because this is the Desmos thing. Okay. So we know MC is 4. So 4. We know MO is 4, and O, the diameter of the circle would be 8 because it's 4 plus 4. This area over here is 5. And this part down here is 5 minus CD. We actually have enough information to solve because we would use the second property. So the second property would be this one over here. A times A plus B equals C times C plus D. So we would do 4 times 4 plus 8. So it'd be 4 times 12 equals, and then over here, oh, hang on, I think there's a mistake.
Wait, why?
Oh wait, no, there isn't. Never mind. Okay,
Because I
equals
love this.
just
Yeah.
this first part. 4 plus x times this whole thing here, which would be 9. Does everyone understand how we got that part? No, the Kahoot is not going to be this hard. This is the hardest question on here. Okay, I'll go over it again. So we know MO is 4, right? And this is 4 too. And this is 4. This is also 4 down here. And CD is X. Although we can just call it CD. Let's just call it CD. And this part over here, CE, is 5. So now we use our formula, we use the second one, which says that we do this little part out here multiplied the whole length equals the little part out here multiplied by the whole length, right? And so over here, the little part is MO, which is 4. And then the whole length over here would be 12 because we're looking at power of a point for this circle here. So 4 times 12 equals, and now we're just going to look at the bottom part. So the bottom part has MD, so from here to here, multiplied by the whole thing, because this is like the A, and then the whole thing is like A plus B. So MD would be 4 plus CD times the whole thing. So the whole thing would be times 9. So now you just solve this. So on the left side, this would be 48. And then if we divide both sides by 9, we get 16 over 3 equals 4 plus CD. So now we just solve, and we subtract 4 from both sides, and we find CD equals 4/3. This may have been way too hard.
Yeah. Let's just go to the Kahoot now.
Yeah,
Can I do the Kahoot?
sure.
Okay. I like Kahoots.
We have to go fast.
Yes, I will, I guess, have to skip some stuff. Okay. So this upside down Kahoot. Okay, let's go. As a guest. Continue as guest, classic. Okay, everybody join as fast as possible since we want to play.
You can give us 1 minute to join and then you just start.
Yes. If you don't join by 4:23, then you're gonna have to join in the middle of it.
My Kahoot screen is so tiny now.
Your what is so tiny?
My Kahoot screen, since I can't minimize my thingy.
Oh no, that's so sad.
Except I can move it out of the way, which I don't think that's very useful.
Yeah, I get what you mean. It's so hard. Oh wait, if you just have it out of full screen, oh, you just can't minimize it all. Never mind. That's why you can like.
Hopefully over the
Wait,
summer or something, we'll be able to have a non-virtual session
Would you
where
guys
guys
go to a non-virtual?
yeah, no doubt.
Maybe.
if it was like over the summer, like maybe a camp format.
Sure, yeah, good enough.
If we gave you snacks, would you come?
Definitely, no doubt.
If we gave you a
Wait,
t-shirt, would you come?
t-shirt chips, you can buy one for 50 cents. It's
Snacks are better
clearance.
than t-shirts, honestly.
Yeah. I found a way
Okay.
to
Maybe you can
minimize
see us in real life.
Hasn't it
Isn't
been
that
for a minute
exciting?
by now?
I can't
Oh,
see
yeah,
your
it has
guys'
been.
faces now, but I see it in my Kahoot tab now. That's better. And your screen
Okay,
froze.
let's start.
It's not frozen.
You
Oh,
want
now it
sugar
is.
snacks?
Kyle, your screen's frozen.
Uh-oh. Is it still frozen?
Yeah.
It's
Great.
There we
frozen
go.
again. It just says
No, it's all right now. I think we can see the question.
it's green. D, E, and A, E have to be concurrent since you just look at it and see that.
Okay, well this one's very simple. It's just the perpendicular bisector thing where this DE and EB have to be congruent since they're the one being bisected. Let's see who wins today.
Oh my gosh,
It's-
someone
it's
is
obvious-
impersonating me.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Amy's oh, it has to be.
Oh shoot, I shouldn't have skipped that too late. I'm sorry, whoever got that right, you're really lucky.
Yeah, someone got it in first place.
I'm sorry, I made you go to first.
I'm in fourth now.
Double points.
Double points?
The whole thing is lagging
Okay.
so hard.
Yeah, we don't see the question.
Oh,
Should I read it for you?
yeah.
Oh, it's here now.
Oh, okay. I feel like this might be kind of hard.
Oh, I messed that up really bad.
Oh, I got it. That was kind of
Oh, I see.
that was kind of easy.
Yeah, I thought it said. Oh, never mind. I guess I didn't mess it up.
I didn't even have
No,
to draw the
I
extra lines. I
didn't
just
do this one. Like there was
I
something
kind
that
of
looked
did
similar.
it. I just looked
Yeah,
at it and
maybe.
did it.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I see what it
I'm
is.
using my eyesight to do it. Yep. Using
Oh,
my
no, man, I
eyesight.
didn't mess up. I got it right.
We'll see if this was easy or not.
Maybe not.
There's Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Okay, this one, so really quickly, DB is this whole thing is 16. We know that D and EB are equal. Both are 8. Now, AE is 6. So one of the many radiuses on the circle is this one, right? So now I'm just gonna use Pythagorean theorem. And yay, this is 10. How do I erase?
I was trying to find a diameter.
Oh, that's sad. It's okay.
Amy is 1, by the way.
How do you know?
Because
Hmm.
00 is impersonating her, someone else's also. It's 4, green.
Woohoo!
we can't
What
even-
even was this?
We can't even see the medium.
Oh, this wasn't even nice. Okay.
Can you tell us if you're skipping so I can get ready?
No, that's not fair. Then people will guess.
I think the screen is frozen.
So,
No. Again?
Oh, it's done
nope,
now.
that's not it.
I had to guess because I didn't have enough time to actually do it.
Yeah, I think this might have been a little tight on time, but basically we just used the power of a point. And this one
Yeah.
was
Can
a
we use a calculator? But like, I forgot how to
Yes,
use it.
you
line.
can use a calculator. You probably should try
Yeah,
to use a
you
calculator.
probably should have.
Isn't 7 rounded? Because I got like 7.8.
Yeah, I think it's. I don't. I don't
Eight.
know. Yeah, I think it should be rounded, but it's rounded wrong. So
Oh,
I put 7
well,
on
that's
because
not
it's
very
7.8.
this is really annoying. Is there no better way to erase this?
You could
There's a
hold
way
it.
to clear the whole screen. Amy did
Is
it.
there?
Yes. Amy did
Where?
it like all the time.
no, I was using a different tool. It was the Google
Yeah,
Chrome
she wasn't using
Annotate.
this. Yeah, it's not here. This sucks. Okay. Everybody's spamming? No, that is not good.
Your
Oh.
leaderboard is lagging me. I'm on questions.
I like this. I like board questions.
I have the answer already and I don't even know. I always see this quiz.
I feel like the answer is yellow.
What is the question though? I can't even see it.
What
What
is
is
power
power?
of a point mainly used for? And then it's red is it's used to find angle measures. Blue, it's used to find lengths of line segments in circles. Yellow is it's used to tell
Red.
if a circle is good or bad. Green is not important to anyone.
Yeah, I think
But
I
yeah, it
keep
doesn't
getting 600 points for them because my screen is so.
I just
Hmm.
guessed that one, like, because I thought you were gonna skip.
I'm sorry.
That's
we
the
have
one
to-
question I changed because they had the wrong answer.
Oh. Okay, there's
Oh
like
my
really
God.
no time.
On the one question you don't skip, your screen is frozen.
Oh, it is?
Oh, now it's not.
My I think I broke my Kahoot. It's still showing that I answered the question. Oh, what's the code?
222.43.
Oh. 200.
Let's just go really
Bro,
fast.
I didn't have enough time.
Okay, let's actually like. I'm just gonna skip a bunch so that we can actually do some questions. Hey, who did that? Nobody in the top 5. That's all that matters. This is like really random, but isn't somebody's last name here CAO or no?
That shows. Oh, so
This is
the
for
one
you.
question I infer that we're gonna skip. I skipped. That's wrong. Unless it is green, which it is never green.
Wait, Amy, how do you even do this?
Well, so the angle AOC is supplementary to angle the 50-degree angle, right? So angle AOC is 130 degrees. Then because that
Oh.
triangle is an or not an equilateral, isosceles triangle, then that means angle A and C are the same degree measure. So they both have to be 25 degrees.
Yes.
Who got it right though?
Probably it hurt Amy.
Yeah, Amy. Yeah.
Yep.
And Amy is 0, 0. I think we all know that.
Oh, we knew that from the beginning.
Bad.
Yeah.
It's angle bad.
No, people already guessed, so I
Why
couldn't.
is green always cannot be determined?
Because it's the
Because.
bottom right. And
No,
bottom
I
right
always
answers
Every
are
time I
always
skip,
the
I always
bottom.
put green.
Well, then
It's-
W's are
There's no way I'm winning.
It's kind of our fault for guessing, though.
Well, my thing is.
Yeah, I feel like half of them just guess.
I have 0 points right now anyway, so.
Bed. Or is this all on purpose?
She's trying to roll us.
Uh-oh.
You should skip.
Why?
Because
There's 5 seconds left. Hurry,
Probably
just
should have
guess.
skipped. I don't think the right answer is on there.
Yes, it is.
Are you sure?
It's 40.
not the
Because
right
it's a
answer.
quadrilateral.
I got
And
a correct one.
opposite are supplementary. This middle line is
okay, I solved it wrong then.
I got 1,000. I'm tied with Bob.
You are,
All right, if you have to go, you can go. Oh my goodness.
I got it right. Oh,
I
no.
got it right.
Right?
I'm in 7. 2 1,000s in a row.
If you have to go, you can go. And oh my gosh, you guys are too fast. I know you'll miss me, but bye.
Bye.
Really? I clicked the wrong one. She's looking at it.
Huh?
Wow.
What?
What? Arc BED.
Oh. Oh, is
Okay,
it this?
yes,
Okay.
it's okay. If you paid attention in our first circles class, we talked about the difference between major and minor arcs. If you
Yes, we
say
did.
arc BD, then it means like the little arc that's less than 180 degrees.
Yeah.
But
that's
if you
what I
say
meant.
arc BED, it's the big arc. So once you got the answer for the small arc, you have to do 360 minus that. So I may or may not have gotten that wrong.
Oh,
It's kind of sad because like I make all of this material.
and you still fail at it.
Yeah.
Guess what? Next week, which is Halloween, I'm gonna be making the slides. So
Let's go. Well, Amy's a better teacher. You're better at cahoots.
that's so mean.
No doubt.
Do you like circles? This is a good question. I like it.
I
Uh-oh,
answered
your
green.
screen
Is
is
that?
frozen.
Uh-oh. Just guess.
Oh, we see it now.
I wanted to put red. I wanted to put no.
You
Why
don't like
is-
circles?
No. Annoying. 1,000.
Yay. Oh
I
my gosh.
actually-
Nobody
Whoever
put no.
says that they like triangles better,
I tried to
well,
put red. I was trying to put red.
Bye, guys. Let's
I
see
got-
who's on the podium first.
I got into 6 because I got a full 1,000.
is it surprising that we can't see the podium right now?
Oh.
Awesome effort. Aim for the podium next time.
Woo.
Okay, it's
Okay,
Amy,
next.
Chin, Aishwarya, and 00. So who's the baby?
That's Ian.
Okay.
No, that
And
isn't.
Amy Chen is Jay.
I know that it isn't Ian. I'm just. joking
Wait, it's
about it.
Sai? Okay.
Wait,
Okay.
I'm confused.
So,
Who's the baby?
Amy Chen is Jay.
Okay, Amy Chin's Jay.
Is Sai.
The baby is Sai.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's Aishwarya, Jay, and Sai.
Yes.
Okay. Got it.
You guys have homework. by the way.
Yes.
But
so
you guys
We
can
do?
down.
That's surprising.
all right, bye everyone.